Hello. Hey, everybody. So great to see everybody in the chat. Hello to all the members there as well. Great to see you. I appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate the help of the mods. Nancy's here, and Grace Kelly is here as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news. It has the internet buzzing. We touch on my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family. You'll also catch me doing interviews. So when you hit the subscribe button, please hit that notification bell as well so you get those notifications. And thank you all for smashing like on your way in so we can get more notifications out. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, including a gift. A gift. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. We're going to get into some very odd behavior. There are some protesters who are being followed, I think, to say it lightly. Some of them have even used the word stalked, and we've got it on video. We're going to take a look at that. Growing Scientology protests across not just the country, but even outside of the country. We're going to take a little peek at, I think it was Denmark, just all kinds of stuff that we're going to cover. First off, I want to get into, you guys know I'm just obsessed with this whole Real Housewives thing and Rebecca Minkoff, the Scientologist, maybe joining it. Well, guess what? Now that news is all over the place, fans of the show are now pushing for, asking for, some might say demanding, that, well, if you're going to have Rebecca Minkoff joining the Real Housewives, who's a Scientologist, whose father had to pay a settlement in the Lisa McPherson death because of his role in that, whose brother is a spy and snitch for the Office of Special Affairs, Scientology's, their like own little Interpol. They're saying, you know what? We want somebody else in there. We want somebody else if you're going to have her. Let's take a look at this. So this is from Thanks, I Hate It. With Rebecca Minkoff joining the Real Housewives of New York City, fans would like to see another cast member. Now, if you didn't cheat and already see who they're asking for, tell me in the chat who you think it is. Tell me in the comment who you think it is. I'm going to share who it is, but I'm just curious who you guys actually think it would be. Listen to this. Listen to this. Let's see. So they're talking about her connection to Scientology. Some would like Bravo to add Leah Remini, a former Scientologist who penned a memoir about her time inside the religion, to the cast. So tell me. I don't think she'll do it with this, especially with the current lawsuit going on. And nor do I know that that's actually even a possibility. I just want to say I'm here for it if that happens. Hold on. I forgot to turn on the menopause fan. There we go. I really got to up my technology. I should have a switch. Anyways, how amazing would that be? There's part of me that just mentally went down that rabbit hole and imagined what that would be like to have those two on there. And I got to say, it was a gift, like I said, even just imagining it. So who knows? Probably not really going to happen. I'm just saying that I'm all for it. And I hope people keep asking bravo for that, because it would make me so happy and be just the most beautiful distraction. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to keep talking about that because, like I said, I am obsessed with this whole story and that this is happening. And it's blowing my mind. This Rebecca Minkoff hasn't even aired or anything yet. And we've already got so much news coming out about it. We've got pictures, this is Scientology Clearwater. It's more of the information about abuses in Scientology, what happened with Lisa McPherson, all that is coming out. That's why this is so great. That's why it is so great, because Scientology scandal will follow her, as it should. And I appreciate that Scientology celebrities are stepping out a little bit more and putting a light on Scientology and its abuses, even though they don't think they're doing that. Because let's be real. When people talk about Scientology, right, and it's not coming from Scientology, we know what that looks like, and that the truth comes out and more people will learn the whole Bravo verse. A lot of them will be introduced to this community and what's been happening with Scientology. Some of them have been. There's been crossover. I just love the crossover. So please, I hope that happens. Another thing I wanted to chat about is this happened a little while ago, but I thought it was such great news and a really big deal when you grow up in Scientology and you forego your education, your traditional education. It's a big deal. To one of the first things I did when I left Scientology, the very first thing I did was go get my GED. I had dropped out of school at 15 to work for Scientology, and then I joined the SEA organization. Now, in Scientology, we do a lot of training that can make us really good at reading and being able to read something and apply it and execute it and do it. So education in terms of, maybe your vocabulary and being able to, because there's no job in Scientology that you were expected to not know how to do. If you don't know how to do, you have to read how to do it, practice how to do it, and then actually do it. But Leah Remini, you guys might have known, this is a real proud moment. She went back to school and she just got her associate's degree. This was at the end of March. And so I'm a little behind on this, but after 3 years of hard work, she received an associate's degree from NYU. And I think this is absolutely fantastic. She says, I embarked on a terrifying journey, becoming a college student at the age of 50, after only having an 8th grade education and spending 35 years in a totalitarian cult. The former Scientologist, 53, stated on social media, admitting through the experience she had many long nights, tears, and a desire to give up. In the end, she pulled through, and she's now working on obtaining her bachelor's degree. Well done. Hip, hip, hooray. I think this is fantastic. Also is not lost on me. She's 53, I'm 53. She was in for 35 years and I was in for 35 years. My sister left early on. Her sister left early on. And I think this is part of too why I really appreciate and know what it means for her to be able to do that. And I think it's fantastic. And I think it also sets a great example for people who want to continue their education, whether you were in a cult or not. It is never too late. If there's something you want to do and you want to learn how to do it, whether it's through the traditional college route or some other form of education, and you want to do it and learn it and do it, do it. Get up there and do it. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you guys think so too. So yes, congratulations to her. I found that to be very, very heartwarming. Okay, we're going to touch just a little bit on something that a couple people sent me. There was an article that came out recently that it's news that I'm familiar with about Tom Cruise and his previous wives, right? But did you guys know, I'm just going to pull up the part that I want to show you. We're not going to read the entire thing because, I don't like to read long articles, even though this one isn't that long. But where's the part that I just specifically wanted to call out here? This is Tom Cruise back in the day with his first wife, Mimi Rogers. Now, Mimi Rogers is the person who got Tom Cruise into Scientology. She was a second-generation Scientologist. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you know how Tom Cruise was married, 3 times, right? Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman, and then Katie Holmes. And we all know how they all ended. Divorce and all of them being labeled suppressive people by Scientology. And we can't figure out, is Tom Cruise just attracted to a type? Is that type maybe strong women who push back against Scientology and they became not so much fans of David Miscavige, who then put the kibosh on those relationships? So yeah, I'm kind of taking this a step further because this is what happened. David Miscavige had a role in the ending of these relationships, except for Katie Holmes, who packed up her stuff and walked out of there with her child. So this article goes and talks about how, let's see here. This was a while ago. There was a Vanity Fair article. And as per Vanity Fair, Marty Rathbun, a former top-ranking Scientologist, alleged the involvement of the organization's leader, David Miscavige, in the divorce. Rathbun shared that Cruise split from Rogers and Kidman after pressure from the religious elder. Without giving away any details, she said, both women got cold on Miscavige. He was integral to the breakup of their marriages. So both women got cold on Miscavige. Next thing you know, those people are getting a divorce. It speaks to the role that and the control even over somebody like Tom Cruise that Scientology and David Miscavige can have. I think that's very, 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 very interesting and so culty. It's like massively culty. It's beyond culty. It's next level cult. It's David Miscavige culty. And it's got to make you wonder, like, at what point does even Tom Cruise not go, gosh, this whole, like, I've had nothing but issues. But I think that Tom Cruise, personality wise, is more similar to David Miscavige than, maybe some of us have thought. And if you're that type of person, of course, you're all for a mind control abusive cult and that happening. So who knows? We're going to see. We're keeping an eye on it. We are. Me and Taz, no. Mimi Rogers, that I'm aware of, is no longer in Scientology and hasn't been for some time that I'm aware of. If you guys know differently, tell me in the chat or tell me in the comments if you're catching this on the replay. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at Tori Magoo 44. Did you guys catch the video where she was speaking at SKEPTICAMP LA 2024? We're going to look at just a little clip at the beginning. I'm going to have these links to all these videos down below, and I recommend you go take a look at this. Tori just did an amazing job. Let's take just a quick peek.
First of all, thank you for having me. It's always fun to meet skeptics because I'm like the opposite of a skeptic, right? I mean, I was in a cult for 30 years. And it's like a mind control cult, and they take you away from thinking right away. That's it. Like you're not thinking. And then it's like a triangle, and you're actually paying, right, to lose your freedoms. That's really what happens. They slowly strip away your freedoms. And people always ask me, well, why would you do that? And first of all, I got in 1969. I was in college. First of all, thank you for having me.
So I cut it there because I want you to hear that story on the video, because the way that Tori tells more of her story. And it's interesting because I've had like conversations with Tori. We get on the phone and chat, and I can talk to her for like an hour and a half. She has the best stories. And she had told me about that. And she shares that story, and it's just fantastic. Yes, Venus, I adore Tori as well. Love it so much. Completely. All right, let's take a look. Let's talk about Oh No Nora. Oh No Nora did a video, and I'm going to share a clip of the part where she's talking about the impact of protests. And she talks about the different ways of protesting, because there are so many different ways. And I know that sometimes somebody might feel very strongly about protesting this way or that way. And the reality of it, and this is what I think about it, this is my 2 cents, is people get into Scientology for different ways, through different ways. They leave in different ways, for different reasons. They get in for different reasons. They're different people. And for some things are going to impact them more, and some things will impact somebody else differently. And I say, if you're out there getting the word out that Scientology is a human trafficking cult and the truth about the abuses, bravo, right? Doesn't mean there's always going to be somebody who has some issue with how you do anything. That's just the way it is, especially out here on the internet. But the importance of these protests and the impact, because we see this every day. We recap these all the time, and we see former Scientologists coming up and thanking the protesters. Here in the community, many of us who are SPTV creators hear from people who've left the Sea Org or under the radar Scientologists who love it because it's impactful. Nora even talks about when she saw protest signs when she was on the Rehabilitation Project force. She saw them and it made an impact when she was still in. So let's take a little look at this clip here where she's talking about the impact too that it had on her when they were outside Los Angeles. Take a look.
Of children born into Scientology who escaped, who had to leave, who are now ex-Scientologists, who are disconnected from their family, some of whom are dead because they unalived themselves and could not make it to this protest with us, or even to today, because that's what Scientology did to them. I will tell you that carrying those names, carrying my friends' who couldn't be there with me around the building where I was held captive was one of the most powerful things I've ever done in my life. And I can tell you right now, when we were talking and standing right there, there was a security camera pointed right at us, and we were talking to them. They could hear us. There is nothing more powerful than protest. This has shaped nations. It has shaped laws. It has changed lives.
Yes, I could not agree more, especially that one. That was very impactful, where Liz Gell created the list of children of Scientology who've spoken out, and many of them did not make it. Many of them did not make it out of Scientology with their lives. It's incredibly impactful, and we know this. We continue to see people who are protesting using that same list, and it's been, it's a growing list, which is, I just have mixed feelings about, because it's great because it's growing, because it's more people to raise awareness, and it sucks because it just shows that there's more. But I thought it was really impactful. If you get a chance, go check out her whole video. I thought she made some really good points, especially when it came to the value of protesting and how much so many of us here in the community value everything that everybody does, however they're doing it. Even here, raising awareness, letting people know in your community, your elected officials, your friends, your neighbors, talking about it at work, so people know what Scientology is and they get educated and can prevent not just themselves, but their children from falling prey. Maybe not even just to Scientology, maybe cults in general. It's that whole, the more you know, the more you know, the more you know. Let's go take a look at, let's go to Hollywood. We're going to look at Daniel from Salem. This is creepy, you guys. Talk about being followed. He had left Pou Belle, and I think we're gonna actually look at this in a little bit of slow-mo, because you can see what happens. He's leaving. He leaves Pou Belle. Let's see. Let's slow it down a little bit. And that weird sound is because I'm slowing it down. I don't know what that sound is, but you'll see what I'm going to show you.
They're trying to intimidate me. It didn't work.
So he's going down the street. Here, maybe we don't need to slow it down that much. This is Daniel from Salem. And, he gets that supportive honk there, right? So he turns around. And you guys need to watch this when he turns around.
Because I weave through all their games. What? Whose fault? Someone's fault?
Okay, I want you to watch. Can you guys see my mouse around the tree here? Just keep an eye on that tree. You're going to see somebody step out, and then you're going to see them duck back behind the tree. Check this out.
Oh my guys.
See it?
Can I help you?
And this person goes back behind the tree.
Yo, someone's following me.
And then they I don't know if you saw that, they run past.
Oh, you're following me, dude.
So they just went right past that wall and ran by. But when you slow it down, you can see it there. But creepy. Who knows what that's about? It could be Hamburger Guy. Who knows? I don't know. But it's like, oh, yeah, let's just follow him, because that's not weird. That's not creepy. Just bizarre. And it was almost like a theme, right? We got this person following Daniel from Salem after he was at Pou Belle protesting. And then did you guys see the video with D.O.A? D.O.A, where was he? Up in the mountains? And this woman, I thought I read somewhere, tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments if you're catching this on the replay, wasn't he like 50 miles away? Did I read that correctly? When this woman comes up on him and goes off, I had to cut a small clip because she drops F-bombs like crazy. And what's so hilarious to me is she's going off about how psycho he is while acting like a psycho. 50 miles from Pou Belle and blocking traffic. It was miles away, Lily. Okay, I thought I read it was like 50 miles away. And of course, D.O.A was just like there for it. So we're going to take a look at a clip of just a little bit of that. But when you get a chance, go watch the video because it's not very long, but she just goes off. And okay, so Lisa's saying way farther. Kara's saying 80 miles. Okay, so keep this all in mind. Keep this all in mind. He's very far away when this happens. So let's get this clip pulled up. Let's take a look at her and then we will talk about it.
How you're able to get away with this, because you exist because of a sick, depraved, insane culture.
That people who hate rape, yes. There's a lot of people who are have been raped
You
and
think
violated.
The people that are going there at dinner
Yeah.
are supporting rapists? No, they're
Yes,
trying to go
they are.
grab dinner.
They are.
Yes,
There-
they are.
There's literally thousands of places to go to dinner.
It's the neighborhood bar, dude.
It's
Okay, so what she does next is, which I didn't include that part of the clip because she's just like F-bomb, 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 calling him a psycho while yelling and looking like a psycho. She's already blocking traffic. She pulls like she's going to turn around and then blocks that lane of traffic. It's just crazy to me. Electric Jen is saying it was in, do you pronounce that Ojai? I think it's pronounced Ojai, California. Yeah, Farrah, she was stopped in the middle of the road. Oh, my hair. I got a little hair like blowing across my face. It was. Yes, Astral Flux. Oh, man, this lady was off her rocker. Yep, Rika. Ojai, California. Yep. Pippi Longstocking. She's one classy lady. It's just funny to me when you're telling somebody how their behavior is psycho and they're acting psycho while yelling it from a car 50 miles from the scene. Just, yeah. Megan Moo, that's right. Get out and have a conversation. Hey, why are you guys doing this? Like, what's your deal? What are you doing? What's your deal? Okay, we're going to go over to Pasadena where MD Media 18, Scientology may be trying to get a restraining order against him because he used chalk on the sidewalk. Oh, that hurts my butt. Check this out.
The other thing I again, because I want both sides to have the same information. Obviously, you know that they don't want you out front, right? So they informed me that they may. I don't know if they're going to, but they're going to explore their options of maybe pursuing a restraining order. Okay. I'm just telling you.
That is the most funniest thing. I'm sorry, I have to laugh at that.
Oh, you know what?
I just have to laugh at
You know
that.
what?
You understand
It's
that?
adorable.
I do. I don't, because they're crazy. So.
But I'm just telling you, right?
You know they're a child trafficking cult, right?
Yeah,
I don't know very much about
But
the Church of
that's
Scientology.
pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious you don't know.
you wouldn't be out here harassing. They're wasting.
So this officer has had interactions with them before, and I think he's being pushed into a corner by Scientology here. And was just explaining that. But it's like, whoa, it's really, you're going to get a restraining order potentially over some chalk. But they're going to try. They're going to try. Miss Sunrise Dawn has a question. Wouldn't Scientology make Rebecca drop the show if Leah joined? Since Leah is one of those dreaded SPs. Girl, I would have thought that at one point, but I don't know now. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And would Rebecca herself listen to them, even if that was the case? Because you can't tell me. I always think like, surely Scientology, you see how this will end for you. But no, they don't. There's this delusion, and I get it. I have to remind myself. Here's the thing, you guys. There's a difference between the reality that all of us see here and the reality that the Scientology mindset believes. And I have to put myself back in that mindset to look at it and go, oh, okay. I see why Scientology would think this was a good thing, and I can see how it's going to backfire. So I don't know. You think because of that, remember when Elizabeth Moss got up to use the bathroom? What was it at the Emmys or whatever? When, was it the Emmys? I forgot. Scientology Aftermath won some awards. And when they were being presented, Elizabeth Moss, the actress, who has been a lifelong Scientologist, grew up in Scientology, was there, and she got up and went to the bathroom. Because you can't have those ex-Scientologists up on stage and be in their presence, but she was in the same room. So I don't know. That'd be the dream. Honestly, I would be so happy if both of them were on it. I just feel like I would love it. We'd have We would have a field day with that. Let me tell you, the internet would love it. It might even break the internet. Okay, let's go over to St. Louis Scientology Audit and take a look. Look at this fanciness. Lou has got multiple cameras going out there. This is like amazing. They've got somebody wearing that red suit there. So let's take a peek of what was happening when they were protesting Scientology in St. Louis.
What is that exactly?
It kind of looks like maybe a firecracker in a way. I don't know.
It's like one of those inflatable arm tube.
But that's going to draw some attention roadside that Scientology's a cult. But check this out too, how he's got the multiple cameras going. I love that as well. That costume is absolute fabulousness. Go check it out. St. Louis Scientology Audit. I've had Lou Repetto on the channel a couple of times, and he will be again because he has such amazing information when it comes to understanding the mindset of Scientology on the training side of their bridge to total freedom. Because he did that side. I did more the auditing processing side and the operating Thetan levels through level 4. But Louis Repetto is one of the few very highly trained Scientology interrogators. So he's just got great information, and I love seeing him out there protesting. Okay. Also in St. Louis, Ron Liar is there, and we got a little clip from his stream. And it has taken long enough, but Scientology is finally covering their windows there. Everywhere else, they've got blind tech going on and all of that. And Scientology St. Louis is just sitting there with their front door chained with a giant chain lock, just like, just not having it, just doing their own thing. But no, they're catching on. They're catching on to the tech, and they've got their windows covered. And Ron Liar tells us about it.
Hey, you guys, they put up stuff on the windows up there. You guys see that? That lower section of window on these two window sections on the right-hand side, they put up paper over the window so I can no longer see in there.
What do you know? They're putting up paper already so he could no longer see in there. Didn't it feel like it took them long enough? Like it took a hot minute in St. Louis to figure that out. Monkey's Eyebrow. Anyone want to protest in St. Paul, Minnesota? Hey, reach out to me because I do. Just needs to be warm. But 60 is good. Yeah. I want to get on that action. Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. My family, you know what? I think my daughter, I have family members who are going to want to do it too. So I'm thinking maybe, well, let's talk and we'll talk dates. But in the not too distant future, I can see that happening. And if anybody else wants to join, reach out. Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. I know some of you have earlier, but the emails pile up, and then on here, people have one name on YouTube, and then we'll email, but with another email address, name, and then sometimes sign it with a different name. So be patient, because it's just really hard to keep track of who's who and all that. So always feel free to send me another email, or, like in this case, if you've emailed me about protesting in Minneapolis, in St. Paul, just go ahead and send it again, because I will never find it. And I appreciate your help with that. Oh, are you gelling? I did not get my sign because I do want to go back to Clearwater. We decided to leave it there and have another one made here. But thank you for the reminder. I need to talk to Kai to Spit Clearwater, find out where he got that made, because I want to get another one made. I found it so helpful to have a wearable sign and be able to hold my phone and, all that good stuff. That worked really well for me. I really liked that. I did. Vintage Mama of 3, thank you so much for that super chat. If Leah does the show, Mike Rinder will want on too. Got to ride that coattail. Sorry, I just feel a little bad laughing at that, but he did it to himself. Maria, yes, bridge to total bankruptcy. All right, where are we at? We're going to go to Denver. We're going to go to Denver and check in on Jay. Denver Scientology Audit. He was holding vigil for victims of Scientology, putting more names down. And this is what I love about Jay, is he will always take the time to let someone know why he's doing what he was doing. You know, why he's protesting, what inspired him to protest. So let's take a little peek at this interaction.
And I didn't realize what was going on until it was kind of like, not too late, but I was able to recognize I was changing in many ways and having to pay for, to be a part of meetings. And, right. So long story short, I found out.
And did you hear somebody drive by, honk, and yell, "It's a cult"? It's so great.
Of a second generation Scientologist who shared her story. She was pretty much just begging for her father to like communicate with her on the streets as he was busting dishes. And like, it was clear there was a problem where he was being encouraged to disconnect from her. Because any reasonable father who hasn't seen his daughter in more than a decade would absolutely want to hear her voice to talk with her. But so that inspired me to go down the rabbit hole and find out all their stories. Yeah.
No, it's just always curious.
Yeah.
I see you out here quite a bit since I live like a block away. I'm like,
you're all
do
good.
You have like a personal, like, I didn't know if someone you knew was involved.
Thankfully not. I mean, the other thing is like I'm young old, so I just found out about him. So it's kind of concerning for me, being the age I am, about 30, that I had never known what. Yeah. And I didn't.
Young old too. I love how Jay said that. I'm gonna start using that. I'm young old. Oh, it was, Gerald. It was a great video. He just does a great job. I have questions. Did we ever figure out who did the taped help sign in LA? No, not that I'm aware of. No. I know it's going to come out though. It always does. Just a matter of time. So Jay's out there. OOP Media also was out there and got a little clip of Jay doing his thing with the chalk there. I love seeing a crew there with him.
Jay's working hard. Looks good, nice and clear. Looks beautiful. Yeah, Jay's doing an amazing job out here. Yeah, you'll think of something. Yeah, so this is good stuff. Good day to be out.
How great the weather is there in Denver. You know, I've never been. I've only been to the airport, but sometimes it looks like it's freezing cold, and other times it's like, well, she's just wearing short sleeves even. I think that's fantastic. All right, let's see. Hey to Danny in the chat. Good to see you. Danny and Leah are traveling across the country protesting Scientology with Steph the writer. So be sure to go check out their channels because they're doing all kinds of fun stuff. So that's what's happening over in Denver. Now let's talk about Chicago. There's with multiple people out there still protesting in Chicago, and it's growing. We're going to look at a clip by Hell GEER. I think I always wonder if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we're going to go ahead and take a look. I love this because there's the sign, the hoodie. She's wearing a SPTV Never In hoodie. And the cans crack me up because one, they make noise, but secondly, back in the day, so these days, little Scientology history. These days, when you buy a Scientology e-meter, it comes with these like spacey looking cans that just look like cans. Back in the day, they used to use actual soup cans where they would hook the electrodes onto soup cans. People would like save their soup cans and bring them into the org and clip the thingies on and hold on to those cans. Now the cans come with the e-meter. So I don't know if she knows this. It was just super funny to me. I didn't bring it up again. Hold on a second. I'm all enjoying myself on the other page, watching this all by myself for 17 seconds. Get too ahead of myself. I will now share it with you guys. Let's make it a little bigger. Check it out.
Right.
I just love that. And someone said in the chat that she did know about the can, so that's fantastic. Vintage Mama of 3, thank you so much for gifting 5 Scientology Life After Occult memberships. I really appreciate that support. Thank you. Making it rain. Hopefully people in the chat will get a membership. I love that. It's always so fun because you just don't know where it's going to go too, where the memberships are going to drop. So thank you for that. All right. Also in Chicago, Nancy Drew, we're going to take a little look at a clip of a video with her. She's out there with a bunch of other people showing some of the signs that they have. They've got that great one too that shows the children of Scientology. She takes a look at that. Weather's looking like it's good out there too, actually. Take a look.
Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have a nice crew out here today, having a good old time. We got the receipt out here, Kelly.
This thing,
Your name is here.
This thing has been through the opening and everything, right?
It was here at the protest. We have Kelly Copter in the house right now. Yeah, her name is right there. Kelly.
Who's this? Who's the blonde?
That's Rainbow Bright, but I think that's a mini something that Corn has come up with.
Love it. Thank you so much to everybody in Chicago who is keeping things going. They're continuing to protest Scientology. There is, since that ideal organization opened, I just had this feeling. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you, I said, I just feel like there's something about this organization in Chicago that is a little bit different. And we've been hearing that reports of Scientology putting Scientologists in studio apartments, 6-8 deep. Is this something we're going to see in other cities? The number of, the whole thing with the trash, the documents that were found. There's just a lot going on there. And so I appreciate that so many of you are there in Chicago. And if you're in the area and you're interested in protesting Scientology, reach out to them, show up. There's no such thing as too many people when it comes to raising awareness about Scientology. Let's go over to Austin and we're going to look at a clip from Parodytology. Parodytology does some fun parodies about Scientology. So make sure you go over and sub to his channel and check it out. Let's take a look at just a little clip, gives us a little look of them over in Austin, where they are, how in Scientology, it's you are out ethics. Means your ethics or your morals are not in, they are out. So a lot of you who follow the channel know this. For anybody who's new in Scientology, if you're not facing somebody comfortably, your training routines are out. If you're doing shenanigans against Scientology rules, your ethics are out. If you're not being yourself, which in Scientology means being the self that they want you to be, you are considered to be out of valence. So that's why it's such a joke around here to have you're out tech, you're outdoor tech, you're out everything Scientology. So let's take a look at this. And this is from Parodytology.
So, what's happening here, they come out and they really screwed up again. They're outdoor tech and now they're out music tech because they closed the boombox wire inside the door, which is making it shut out. So welcome to Austin Scientology. Just so you know what's happening.
Yep. Welcome to Austin Scientology. Although, did they fix the door? Is anybody in the chat from Austin or anyone who catches this on the replay? Did they finally fix the front door or is it just kind of shut more? But yes, they are out music tech, smashing that cord, making the music go in and out. Fail Scientology, fail. Let's go take a look at, I did not know that there was a Scientology hotel in Copenhagen. I did not know this. Did not know at all. Okay, so Joe's saying that door is not fixed. Hunter B2 is saying, nope, not fixed. Nancy's saying they haven't fixed it. Okay. Of course they haven't. How do you put so much money into these buildings, into the renovation, and then you let the door sit like that? You know how and why? Because that's the scam. Once they turn it over, they don't have the money for the upkeep. You're going to hear this. Different Scientology organizations are then scrambling to pay the power bill, to keep the lights on, all of that, because they aren't big enough to sustain a building of that size. They don't need it. They don't need it. They don't. But, they still try because they think if we build it, they will come. That doesn't happen. So let's take a look at this in Copenhagen, this Scientology hotel that I did not know existed.
Hi guys, back again from Copenhagen. So this is the Scientology hotel in Copenhagen, like 5 minutes away from the International St. Guild Org. So hotel just for Scientologists. The people who are coming to take courses here are living here if they can afford it. I heard that also if they can't afford the hotel, then they come and stay with some Scientology friends they have. But
So this person is saying if they can't afford to stay in the hotel, then they stay with Scientology friends. And I remember back in the day, Scientologists, this was before the whole short-term rental boom with Airbnb and VRBO. Scientologists in Los Angeles would rent out spaces for people coming to do Scientology who didn't live there. I heard rumor has it that in Clearwater that Scientologists aren't allowed to do short-term rentals for other Scientologists because it competes with the Fort Harrison Hotel. Believable. I believe it. These are the same people who, when I was a 10-year-old child, wouldn't let me sell crayon drawings to make money for my candy habit in the Scientology building. So I'm not surprised at all that they wouldn't let people try to make a buck off of their homes by not letting them rent to Scientologists. I heard that in Clearwater. I'll have to ask some of the Clearwater peeps about that again. Got to ask them. All right. Something else you guys should be taking a look at is Theta Jane per Scientology Audit was over on Pou on the Go with John Pou and Clearwater Chad. We're going to take a little look at that because she's really sharing what's happening, what Scientology looks like in Australia.
AOSH. And then ANZO, which stands for Advanced Organisation in Saint Hill, Australia, New Zealand and Oceania. So they cover the whole of Australia, New Zealand and places like Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, the Cook Islands. All of that is covered. It's all covered by the Sydney Church or whatever you want to call it. And it's a massive big, it's $57 million compound thing or big church. Wow. It's a beautiful big building. It was an old laboratory. It's huge. And then they have another building in West Sydney, I believe. And that was where the old RDF camp was. I'm not sure. Yeah. There's some terrible stories. They do a lot of recruiting from Taiwan.
Now, did she mean RPF? I thought she said RDF, but I think she means Rehabilitation Project Force. I'm wondering there. Hey, Aaron. And we know it's really him because I made him a mod, so we know. Good morning. You're late, though. But you know what, Aaron? We had to start early because we got to run to an ultrasound after this. So we started actually at 7:30. So you got to put me on 2-speed. Although no, we're live right now. But when people tell me they're catching up on 2-speed, I like to start talking even faster so that by the time they get there, it's even faster. Anyways, isn't that interesting, though, about Australia and learning about Scientology in these different areas? And this is what is so beautiful about YouTube and the internet. And I love that channels are coming together and platforming each other and getting the word out and collaborating. Keep doing that. If you're not doing it, reach out to people and say, hey, let's do a video together. That's what we do here in the SPTV community often, is collaborate with one another because we all have different experiences in and around Scientology. And it's the same for people even never in Scientology who are out there protesting and raising awareness. Have each other on, have different people in the community. It's a great way to get to know each other even more, but also just amplify those voices. So I love seeing this. I love seeing it so much. All right. So Leo Linda Lou, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. I truly appreciate that. A ton. All right. Let's see. Gypsy Mimi is asking, is the paper shades on the windows to block protesters seeing seeing into or to prevent Scientologists from seeing the protests. Good point, Gypsy Mimi. I kind of didn't even think about that, but yes, that is true. They would especially want to put them in the course rooms so that people could not look out and see those things. Huh, that's a good point. I kind of even forget about that. That it's not all about not being able to see in, but stopping people from seeing out. I wonder how well it blocks it, though. I guess it depends on the light and the time of day, and if there's light outside. Catherine, I would think that, okay, so this is about the Real Housewives and Rebecca Minkoff. I would think that her contract says no one can talk about her religion while filming, not uncommon. Oh, that contract can say whatever, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And even if they don't talk about it on the show, not one time, the internet is going to lose their mind. Think about all the shows. There are probably more shows on YouTube that would be talking about this than people who even watch that show, if you know what I mean. When you combine the reach of the audience, the crossover, the people interested in the Scientology, bringing down Scientology content, and then you add in the whole Bravo verse, I think it's like this coming together of worlds that is going to create something absolutely fabulous. We'll be talking about it here for sure. And I just think that you're not going to be able to stop it. Look what's already happening. Right? There's just been talk. Oh, she's filming for the Real Housewives of New York. There have been so many articles coming out about this already, and it hasn't even hit the television. So I think it's going to be a big deal. DS Kitty, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much for that. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up because we are headed out. Tony and I, he has an ultrasound today. Biopsy is tomorrow. Thank you so much for all of your kind messages and comments and all of that. We appreciate it. And I do read it. I can't get back to everybody, but a lot of times when I just take a little, I sat outside in the sun yesterday and read a bunch of them. I can't always bring myself to respond sometimes, but I appreciate it. I love it. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely fabulous, and I appreciate you. I am going to, hopefully later today, I have a plan to have a very special guest on who's going to talk to us about some tools to handle like trolls on the internet, things that bug you. She has helped me a ton in my journey out of Scientology and getting my head put back on straight. And I'm going to have her on later today is the plan. So when you hit subscribe, set the notification bell so you can keep an eye out for that, because I'm not 100% on the time. I just know it's going to be later on today. And if you don't catch it on the live, be sure to come back and check it on the replay. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I think she's going to provide some tools that you'll find helpful. In the meantime, everybody, get out there and have the most amazing Tony's ready. Everybody's saying hi. Oh my gosh, she makes me laugh. Okay, so as I was saying, get out there and just have the most amazing cult-free day.